back again for another update. As you can see, I am up and running again finally. Now departing from my pickup here in Biloxi, Mississippi, right on the Gulf of Mexico, which is behind me. Current temperature here is 95 degrees. This is a load of roofing materials going to the St. Louis area of California. So that will set me up for potentially a good paying load next week. finally finished late yesterday afternoon. Yeah. Too late to get another load out yesterday, so I got one out today, August 5th. Doesn't pay all that great, but it will get me into an area where freight is red hot right now for early next week. So the tropical weather system did take a bit more of a westerly track than I anticipated originally. And as a result, because New Jersey and Long Island and Connecticut are on the east side of the system, because the system picked up so much forward speed, even though it weakened and merged with the front, that front I was talking about, the winds were still very powerful because the storm itself was moving north of 35 miles an hour. So on the east side of the system, if the winds normally would have been 25 miles per hour, you add that 35 miles per hour to that total, and you get 60 miles per hour winds. And that's what the joker in the pack was with that system. It picked up speed and was moving at a very rapid rate north. So on the west side of the system, they got hardly any wind, but a lot of rain. On the east side, they got blasted with lots of wind, lots of power outages. And it was really, again, it was so bad because the east side of the system came on shore, normally with a coastal low. The low remains just offshore, so the coastal areas of the Northeast, if the winds normally would be 30 miles an hour and the system's moving at 20 miles an hour, you're only going to get a 10 mile per hour wind out of that system. But if the storm is on the west side, west of them, instead of subtracting, you add the forward motion of that storm. So if the storm is moving 25 miles per hour with a 10 mile per hour wind, you're going to still get a 35 mile per hour wind with that system. And that is what really made this system a surprise hit for the Northeast coastal areas. So I've heard predictions that the tropics are going to be extremely active in August. Well, I don't believe they have been extremely active at all so far this month. Yeah, we did get that tropical storm going up the East Coast, but it's not anything out of the ordinary to get a system like this in August. I've seen a number of them in the past, similar. Bell in 1976, Doria in 1971, several others. And right now, there are no other systems in the Atlantic brewing. So I don't know where they're getting this forecast of an extremely active tropical season in August. You're talking at least a week or two before we even get another system, unless something out of nowhere develops. On the Pacific side, there are no systems. That typhoon moved ashore a couple of days ago into China, and there really isn't any other systems right now in the Pacific to talk about. That big system moving through Vietnam a few days ago has now moved into India, and it is going to bring torrential rains to that nation. For the U.S., the eastern half of the country has cooled down considerably for now. In the wake of this system. And that's also what brought a lot of energy to this system as well. It merged with that cold front and the jet stream. So I also saw some posts about a anomalously rare snowfall in the Alps, and that was that low pressure I had been talking about moving through France. And it ended up moving actually all the way down into central Italy. It's almost a wintertime track for a low pressure system. And the results were wintertime precipitation for the higher elevations of the Alps. Significant snow fell in some regions. Which isn't very common in early August. Not very common to get a low pressure area that goes all the way down to central Italy. And the front made it all the way down to Tunisia in Africa. This is August. On the other side, flip side of the coin though, intense low moving up toward Iceland has brought a warm front up over the British Isles, and they're going to have another hot spell as some of that air from Africa gets drawn north. At the same time, again, we have this low pressure still spinning. Brought some torrential rains to Bosnia. Even brought some rain down into the Italian peninsula as well due to the southerly track of that low. Very interesting weather system. In China, they're still getting tremendous amounts of rain, especially the southern part of the country now. That typhoon, the moisture, not just from the typhoon, but coming up from the monsoons. I also noticed the rains reaching way up into the Sahara in Africa. So that subtropical high is very, very weak. We noticed that the low over Europe had brought a cold front all the way down to Tunisia, and then just 400 or 500 miles south of there, we had rain coming up other side. So the high pressure is really getting squeezed into a pretty narrow band. Phoenix, Arizona has seen a string of very hot days again. It's because that high pressure is sitting right over them. Instead of the monsoons The monsoons have been kept south over Mexico. They haven't had a real problem getting north. So as a result, Phoenix recorded one of the hottest Julys on record. Again, due to the absence of the monsoon rains that normally around the 4th of July cool them down for the rest of the month. Then in Australia, Tasmania has gotten snow. That weather system I mentioned on the last video. Another weather system coming in over Western Australia is bringing some cold weather and rain to that region. And that should move east, and Australia should be getting a spell of very chilly weather on the south shore of the continent. So this is going to be this discussion. It's going to be continuing west on I-10 here.